Welcome to the stew, let's turn up the heat. And Deb's the host, bringing laughs to the street. Let's stir it up, bring the laughter now. Deb will dish and spill and how. Comedy stew, podcast. Deb will dish and how. We're all in the mix. Grab a seat and start this stew right now. Topics all over the DabbleVerse news. Buckle up, we've got great news. You know the stew's got a special taste. Don't miss out, there's no time to waste. Podcast, Deb will dish it how. We're all in the mix. Grab a seat and let's start this stew right now.
Turn it on.
So take a seat and let's unwind. Deb's on the mic, one of a kind. Every update and headline she'll dish. The stew will grant your every wish. Podcast, Deb will dish it how. We're all in the mix. Grab a seat, let's start this stew right now. Comedy stew. Start this stew right now.
Happy Sunday, Funsters. How are you? Welcome back to Deb's Sunday Brunch. We took a few weeks off, couple weeks, but we're back better than ever. We got a special guest for you today. I'm sure you're excited about that, and we love it. I hope you do. I hope everybody's had a good week. Summer's wrapping up, so that's kind of a bummer for some of us. I dread it. I live in a seasonal economy, and all the snowbirds come back, and they trickle in around September. They start coming back a lot more in October, and by November, it's crazy. So it's traffic and hell. Oh, I dread it. I really do. It's great for the economy, but I dread it. But I hope everybody's doing well. DabbleVerse has been very interesting, as you know, with Karmic's a big storyline, and everybody always talks about Steel Toe. I'm kind of neutral on Steel Toe, so I don't really dabble in Steel Toe. Hello, Tuna. Good to see you. I love you too. And DJ Electra, I love you, DJ Electra. And I want everybody to know my Comedy Stew intro was created by DJ Electra Fry. Please check her out with Hack Ride on the Hack Ride Studios channel, or is it Hack Ride Radio? I'm sorry if I got that wrong. So that's always a great time, especially if you're into Howard Stern, and they do a lot of DabbleVerse stuff. They go on with Blind Mike. That's awesome. Thank you, DJ Electra. Please hit her up if you need a great intro, interstitial, and my outro also is by DJ Electra. Thank you so much for the hard work you put into that. I really love it. And so today our guest is the one, the only. You know him, you love him. His name is David Skarica. You might know him as Addicted to Profits. He's an OG MLC. I call him a whale. He was a big Superchatter there. And he's also a financial advisor, a guru, I guess you could say. I will put a link. Did I put a link? Yeah, I did. I put a link to his book, so you can order that. I think, let me see. Mega Returns, Profit from Maximum Pessimism. And I think lately we are maximum pessimists right now. I think things are kind of uncertain in the economy. Certainly tariffs are driving prices. Inflation is still holding on. I don't think it's getting any better. It's just like a lot of uncertainty with corporations and individuals, especially the middle class, the working class, and stuff like that. So we'll be bringing him on in a few short minutes, and we're going to talk about island life in the Bahamas. If you're not aware, he does live in Eleuthera, I think so. I think I'm saying that right. I always call it urethra, but Eleuthera, and he'll correct me if I'm wrong. Nice. He was featured on a documentary a few years back from Barstool Sports. It was the guy called Wonton Dave, and he does a travelogue, or at least he did. And he spent some time during the pandemic. He was living, I believe, in China, and he needed a place to stay. So David was kind enough to offer his property up for them, him and his girlfriend and the camera crew to stay there. So it's really interesting. Check that out. Look that up on YouTube. Wonton Dawn, and it's the pandemic special. They also recently did an update. If you'd like to see that, it was interesting. They interviewed David once more. Kind of a recap and an update what's going on now. So, without further ado, I'm babbling here. Let me play the intro, and we'll bring our guest out. And we're going to catch up with David Skarica. We'll talk a little DabbleVerse. We'll talk about island life, maybe a little bit about financials. We don't want to bore you, and maybe we'll talk about the Raiders and the Eagles. Hi, David. How are you? Good to see
Dude,
you.
how you doing?
I'm
Yeah,
doing well. Great to see you. Great to have you on here. I haven't talked to you since we were on Little Mirror, and we didn't really get a chance to chat too much because there was about 6 people all told.
yeah, and we were talking about Ski Mask, right? When he
Ski
passed
mask,
away, when he passed
yes,
away, yeah. So,
yeah,
so
yeah.
yeah, he was. That's too bad. He was. Like, I liked him. I
I
was.
loved him.
Yeah. So
He's a great kid. Listen, if I had to pick somebody to die, it wasn't going to be him. I'll just put it that way.
I think everyone would know who I pick. So
Yeah. Hey now.
yeah. So no, he was a great guy. Actually, it's funny because you're talking about just. I do have a fan on, even though I'm blasting my AC because it's
Yeah,
pretty hot here.
yeah,
Yeah, it's funny you're talking about that seasonality of tourism. Like here, we don't really have traffic here because the island only has like 10,000 people and it's pretty
right,
spread out. But what happens is here, like no, because it is a smaller tourism economy. September, October is dead. I love it. Like basically the resort shut down, some of the high end restaurants shut down. She's got a little local places, but yeah, it's like there's nobody here those 2 months.
hmm
And I know it's hurricane season, but also what I like about that here is that the beaches are empty, the water's super warm.
right,
So it's like as long as you don't get a hurricane, I actually love this time of year here because and there's still enough places to go to or whatever, right? Like local
right.
places. So no, but I love that, and there's no because the rentals here have red or no yellow plates on their cars, and the regulars like us have like these green plates, and you can
Okay,
see that because we drive on the left, right?
right.
And you can see a lot of the Americans and stuff don't know what the hell they're doing, right? There's been a bunch
Well,
of accidents.
some of the Floridians out here that drive on the left too.
Right. So I know a couple of the airports here. People have literally just like turned off and they go to the right away and they get in an accident like within the first like.
Yeah, yeah,
And this is actually a dangerous place to drive to. The roads are very curvy, narrow, no lights at night. A lot of like DUI is on the books, but everyone drinks and drives here. Not everyone, but a lot of people drink
right.
and drive here. So I kind of don't go out at night, and you can see my house kind of looks like a club, right? So
Yeah,
yeah. So and I have a surround sound system and a hot tub and all this stuff. So I try to like do that to like entertain myself. And I'm older now too. I'm almost 50, so it's
right.
yeah. It's like I don't really. And I was never like a late night club type anyhow, right? Like I actually when we get into finance stuff. One of my claims to fame is that when I was 18, I got my securities license to trade stocks in in
hmm
Canada. And
Right.
I still think to this date, I've never seen anyone get it earlier. I think I'm the youngest person to ever get that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Right? So,
Yeah.
yeah. So,
Let
yeah.
me put my. I have to put my
And
club
that,
light
that
on.
made me dumb enough to join the DabbleVerse for a little bit.
There we go. I'll put my back
I mean,
there.
everyone from those Donnie videos you mentioned knows I love my champagne. So,
Well,
yeah.
in your honor, when I was running those intros, I did go down and make myself real fast. I made myself a nice
Bloody Mary.
Mason jar of Bloody Mary there. It's probably pretty strong because the first intro is 5 minutes, but I have to manually segue to the second one. So I'm like, bro, I'm just like not measuring. I'm like glug glug glug. So
That's the island life for drinks, because like you go to a bar here, even the little hole in the wall bars, the drinks are expensive.
right.
But I would say a single here is like a triple in the States or Canada. They're like strong, right?
Yeah.
Because one of the only things that's cheap here is there's no duty on hard liquor.
Right.
So like a big bottle of like, I don't know, like Bacardi Anejo or something, like a basic kind of rum,
Right.
will only be like $15-20. Like it's cheap.
Right.
Here,
I like.
right?
I like vodka, and You don't.
I like vodka too.
You probably don't have it, but I get it at Costco, and American vodka, which is like a knockoff of Tito's, I guess.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's like $12.99 for the double, the handle. That's $12.99. Then they have a French vodka, they call it, and that's supposed to be a knockoff. Supposedly, Urban Myth is Grey Goose makes it for them, and that's $20, and it's good.
There was like this knockoff they had here, and it was a weird bottle because it had a Ukraine and a Russian flag on it, right?
Right.
And what I liked about it, I think it was only like 25% alcohol. So like it was like I loved it because it was like you could just drink and not get like wasted, right? So like, and I'm not someone who drinks to get wasted. I drink for like the taste or whatever.
I like the taste. I just like it. It gives you, kind of relaxes you, gives just a little bit, And,
do you know what a Caesar is? It's a Canadian version of a Bloody Mary.
No.
So it's basically just a Bloody Mary, but the only difference is, and it's clamato juice. It's not tomato juice, right? Yeah. And also they put clam juice in it, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
all
yeah.
Right.
And that's a Caesar. Yeah. So
I'll have to make that. I'll try that.
Yeah.
When I was working January of 2024, I reverse snowbirded it, and I was in North Dakota, and I was working for the Department of Education. It was a contract job.
My condolences.
I actually had a blast. I had so much. I met such cool people. I really enjoyed it, and
I'm just joking. So
no, I know you are, and
which is funny because you basically told me you're a libertarian. So that's funny that you work for the Department of Education.
Yeah, it was it was a contractor. So I worked for a contractor. I may be recalled, not necessarily to North Dakota. It's kind of where they need you, and the sooner they call you, you have a pick. I was the last one hired. So when they interviewed me, the guy goes, well, you could be sent anywhere, right? And I go, okay. And he goes, even North Dakota. And
I'm from Canada, so I was like, that's whatever.
Well, you know what? It was so random. I hung up from the interview, and I told my friends, I'm like, they're sending me to North Dakota because that's such a random thing to throw out there. And they did. One girl got to go to Hawaii. Everybody was jealous. I'm like, I live in Florida, and I don't feel like flying 19 hours. I'm okay with North Dakota.
That's like me. I have no interest in going to Hawaii because I'm like, I live on an island.
Right.
And Hawaii's like, if I go to an island, like the Bahamas is pretty Americanized because we're so close, right? Still has its own vibe. And I'm glad that it was British rather than American because we don't, like, especially on this island, we don't have condos and strip malls and all that stuff, right? And but if I go to some place like an island, like I would want to go to like, I don't know, like Trinidad or something, right? Like something like I don't want because a lot of people actually because I have a lot of friends who are surfers here. I live near a surfing beach. It's one of the only surfing beaches in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
One reason the Bahamas has that turquoise water, we'll go back to North Carolina in a second, is because we have all the reefs surrounding it, but this beach doesn't have a reef, so it has wave action. And a lot of my friends here are like, I kind of don't like Hawaii because it's too Americanized. There's Walmarts and there's this and there's that, and it doesn't really have, even though it's an island, it doesn't have that island vibe to it. A lot of them tell me that anyhow. So yeah.
Right. And I just gotta cut in because I'm so excited here. Let me find my interstitial. All right, so I want to thank Sexy Mike 86. He gifted 5 nice podcast stupid memberships. Thank you so much, Sexy Mike. That's very exciting, and that's cool. That's really cool.
Imagine Kevin Brennan did that on his podcast. The whole thing would just be music.
I know. One day, hand to God, one day I'll just be playing that in that thing over and over, Then
I don't know, just drink that drink out of a coffee mug and get red in the face and yell and scream, and maybe.
yeah. I don't have I have a Roadcaster and I haven't set it up yet, but I can't play like the Chads, the yay and the
Oh man,
horn. I can't do all that.
I
So
hate
that's
the horn. The reason I hate the horn is not because of Chad. It's because when
makes
they
me,
have these little festivals here on the island, they call them homecomings.
yeah.
They have that like DJ guy talking over like some rap or like reggae music, and they always have that horn going like and like you get
Right.
and these gigantic speakers and it's so loud, and by the end of the night you're like, especially if you're pounding rum or vodka or whatever, like you got
Right.
a headache and you're so sick of the horn.
Well, it makes me think of like, nightclubs. We were talking about nightclubs. The DJs would play that air horn sound effect all the time and get people going and stuff. But yes, let me have a sip of this in honor of a sexy Mike 86. Cheers.
So why don't you go back to the North Dakota when you were there? So what you said you were consulting with
Department, I was administrating exams in
okay,
schools. I was all over North Dakota.
like high schools or
4th and 8th graders.
4th and 8th graders? Okay.
Okay, and it's a national assessment. They do it all over the country. Random schools are selected. They try to get different demographics. I was on an Indian reservation. I did a couple schools there. I was in, the town was real remote. I was staying in a town called Stanley. I got snowed in the one time, and there was nowhere to get anything to eat. I was like maybe one of 3 people in the hotel and a trucker and like a oil, because it's an oil area, oil drilling. You could look out the window and you just see like the pumps.
And North Dakota, like I say, I'm Canadian, but I have to be honest, that's even too cold for me because
it's cold as heck.
Just south of Toronto, it's a city called Hamilton.
Yeah,
right. It's kind of in between Toronto and Buffalo, right?
Right.
And we don't get the snow because Buffalo's in the snow belt. We're not, and like North Dakota is more like Saskatchewan or Manitoba, like that.
Absolutely,
that is cold. I don't like that Midwest. Like that you get those 20, 30, 40 below days and stuff like that, right?
And it's flat. And
I'm
it's flat.
Celsius, by the way, but yeah. So
and it's completely flat. So and there's really no trees. So it's just straight wind and the snow. It drifts up.
Saskatchewan's like that. So yeah.
And I just so I go there, and there's the hotel I had stayed there once before. Like I had been back to that area, so they had a bar, like very simple, couple beers on tap, the basics.
Yeah, that's kind of.
But
like
they had a kitchen. They had a kitchen, so I went. I checked in and everything, and I went back down, and I'm like, oh, what time is it opening up? I want to, and they were like, what? And they said, well, the cook, she couldn't make it. Now, if you can't in North Dakota, they don't close the schools. They don't close the schools.
Well, everyone's probably used to that weather, right?
They're so used to it. And
Yeah.
I'll tell you a story a little bit about recess there. But the cook couldn't get in, so you knew it was bad. So I had no food. They didn't have like chips or anything. And there was a grocery store kind of in the strip, like a couple things down. But it was so bad, I wasn't going to be able to get to it. Because everything in iced over. I had a minivan. They got me, Chrysler Pacifica, and which was fine, handled well, all-wheel drive, stow and go seating. I sound like a car salesman, but I had a lot of gear to transport. I had those hard cases, kind of like what musicians carry, Pelican cases they're called, with laptops. Because I had to set up all the tech. I had to run my own network and administer the test, and I had like 30 laptops. But I couldn't get the food, and there was a trucker in there because the lady that was like the cleaner was running the bar. So I was able to at least have a couple beers. So a trucker came in, he was staying there, and he gave me a bunch of food, bunch of TV dinners and different things because it was like an extended stay, so you had a full kitchen. It was like a studio apartment. So, but it was a one stoplight town, and and, and the with the kids, one of the schools I was at, we were given the test, and an announcement came on over the loudspeaker or the intercom that they weren't going to be able to go out for recess. So they're all disappointed. It's like 11 below zero, you know, real actual temperature 11 below zero. Then they come back on like a half an hour later and they say, "Oh, good news, boys and girls. The temperature it warmed up. It's -8. You guys can all go out." And they're all happy. And they all go when they get let go and released for recess. They all have snowsuits in their lockers, big fluffy bulky snowsuits, their boots, their hats, their gloves, like they're so used to it. It's where when I lived in like Philadelphia, like a rumor of snow the day before it's gonna happen, they close.
Well, like in Canada where I'm from, like we would get a handful of days like that a year. And I remember I used to hate, I was a kid, recess, because we'd have to go out. They'd still make you go out in it. They wouldn't close school because of cold, definitely not, right? But big snowstorms, they would. What was funny is that I went to Vancouver a lot because I do a lot in the mining industry, and a lot of the mining industry is located in Vancouver. And Vancouver is the same weather as Seattle. Right. And then I dated a girl there. This is a long time ago, like 20 years ago. And I used to go out there and see her all the time. And I remember one winter was kind of a cold winter, and but they're not used to snow. I remember snow and like Asian people, no offense, are not the greatest drivers, as you know.
Right. I mean,
right.
No,
you would see that. Cars crashing into trees, and like just because there was like maybe half an inch of snow, like I was like, whoa, like this is crazy. Like people here cannot handle it at all, So,
I mean, people here. I don't know by you, but people here drive like when it rains, when we get the storms, people here like slam on the brakes. They drive like it's a blizzard. North Dakota, though, they have their stuff together. They have big, the big like thing, earth mover things. They're just scooping it up. And they have a lot of them that they deploy. And the big thing is the wind. It gets so windy that you can suddenly have like the snow drift across the road and it's blowing you around, in your vehicle.
That happened to, I had an experience with that. So, we talked about, I'm a Raiders fan. So in 1990, I guess it would have been early 94, it was a 93 season. The Raiders played the Bills in a playoff game. And I think if you look it up, it's like the third or fourth coldest playoff game in NFL history. Right. And it wasn't really snowy, right? It was just that. I remember when we actually didn't show up to almost the end of the first quarter, right? Because my dad had to drive. At the time, I was about 16 years old. We had to like drive so slow because the wind was like moving the car around and just you couldn't see much because it's whipping across the highway and stuff like that. And it was a good game. The Bills won 29-23. But I remember we left with 5 or 6 minutes left in the game. Mm-hmm. And it was like my fingers were frozen. My feet were frozen. When you went, I don't know if you know, but like they have these, like they used to have these big line urinals for guys.
The trough.
That trough, right? Like a trough. And I remember there was like frozen piss in the trough.
Oh, gross.
It was so cold. It was, and then there's these crazy Buffalo fans there with shirts off, drinking whiskey, and because it's 1993, there's a lot less rules than there are now. People can just bring in their own stuff, and it was like I just was like it's funny because that's one of those like that's over 30 years ago. But I remember that I was in the game like that just because
You're breaking up a little there. Hold on a sec.
Be okay.
You froze up there for a sec.
I should be. I'm on Starlink, so I should be okay. But maybe the satellite sometimes,
Yeah, definitely. How's the weather there right now?
So it's like hot. We were talking like the thing about. I know people think weather's boring, but so it's like late 80s, but it's super humid. Like it's like the humidity makes it like 100 or whatever. And one thing we haven't had this year, which usually we have over Florida, especially the west coast of Florida, is we usually have this ocean breeze. And this summer has just been like, other than when Aaron came by, has been like brutal. It's just like, usually we get these 15, 20 mile per hour breeze. I live in a 150-foot hill. So I get all the breeze up where I live. And it's like, it's just been brutal. There's been like no breeze. And one thing here is electricity here. They have these crappy old diesel power plants here. It's really expensive. Like in the summer, I get like $1,000 bills. Like,
Oh my God, that's crazy. Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah. And it's terrible. Aaron came by. We actually had some 25, 30 mile per hour winds, which is nothing.
Right.
And probably knocked some line down somewhere. And it went off around 5 in the evening. I was like, oh no, that's bad. Because the guys don't have the chance to come and fix it, before it gets dark or whatever. And here in the bush, it's tough you have to find the actual line that went down. And I lost power for like 16 hours. And I was like, what? Because of like, it should have not done it. It was just a little breezy that day. So, but lucky because I have a generator. So
I was just saying that was a question. Yeah. If you actually had a generator and things like that now.
I'm gonna go solar, but not full solar. What I'm gonna do is get solar just enough to run, like say one of my ACs, a fridge, my TV, fans, like stuff like that. So
a fridge. You're gonna talk about a fridge later. Yeah.
So that's kind of what I'm gonna do.
Right.
So
yeah. It's I've been lucky with the hurricanes and different things. Our wires are underground, and I'm about 11 miles from the Gulf of America or whatever they're calling it today.
That is ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. Yeah, I have a Florida painting up here. I'm not. It's the Gulf. I'm not changing it. I'm not gonna paint over it or anything. But that's silly. That's like when they had what was it?
Actually, I've been really lucky.
Freedom fries. Remember Freedom Fries?
Yeah. Well, I moved here in 2011, and I've been really lucky because when I moved here, I wasn't in my house yet. I was renting a place. Took forever for my house to close. Welcome to the Bahamas Island, whatever. And within a week of moving here, Hurricane Irene hit, and that was like a direct hit. It was like a Cat 3 hurricane. And then Hurricane Sandy hit in 2012. And if you go look at from about Hurricane Andrew to Sandy, that's about a 20-year period.
Right.
This will be another segue in a second when I do my camera of the fridge and something else. I'll say in a second. But anyhow, when I'd say every 2-3 years, Eleuthera was getting like a direct hit from a hurricane. And then in the last 13 years, it hasn't hit. So like knock on wood, like Hurricane Matthew was a direct hit in Nassau, and Dorian wiped out Abaco, which is about 100 miles north of us. But like here, I guess, we just were due to not a long period where it wouldn't hit. Because actually someone told me from 1966, which is Hurricane Betsy, to 1992, which is Hurricane Andrew. So that's like a 6-year period. No major hurricanes hit Eleuthera. So, and you see it when I first moved here, when those hurricanes hit, it kills all the foliage. Everything was brown. It was like, I used to sit in this hot tub that I have and watch the cruise ships come by in the Atlantic. And now I can't see anything. All the bush is so grown up around me. So like, I hope we get another 26-year period because that'll give me another 12 years. So there you go.
Yeah. And I wanted to ask you, we were talking about, you said, you were supposed to do something with Dan yesterday, I guess a football thing. And you were waiting on a TV.
Yeah.
And I guess I see that back there, a new TV. I'm assuming you don't have big box stores or conveniences like we have here.
The way it works here is that if you want something like out of the ordinary, actually, I'll tell you an even funnier story. It has to do with my computer. So anyhow, but like with the TV, I had like a 85-inch TV, and all of a sudden the screen just went black. I could hear the volume, and then I went online, looked at how to fix it. Nothing worked. I had it for about 5 years. It's a Hisense, like a cheap Chinese thing, right? And then all of a sudden, and the reason I buy the cheaper TVs is because we have these, again, our power outages all the time. And you get surges. I do have surge protectors, but still, like, you can fry, your TV or whatever. So I actually had lightning hit my house last year in July. It was crazy. It hit my transformer, and then it came down the line, and it burnt out my box and the meter. And there was 30 seconds of like everything in my house went crazy. At this minute, I was scared shitless. It was like totally insane. So anyhow, the TV goes out, and then I go to one store here. They only had a 65-inch, and I have a 55-inch in my bedroom. But I'm like, I want a big one for football, and I don't
have that screen though. You have that projection screen.
I have the projection screen. That only really works at night though. It's too bright during the day. Even if I close all the curtains and stuff, you can see it during the day. And I don't have I just put my computer in that, and I don't have it hooked up to my surround sound too. So that's another issue. That's not a huge issue, right? That's a first world problem. Right. Yeah. But the projection screen at night is awesome, right? So,
Yeah.
but anyhow, with the TV, so then there's these guys that have a store about an hour drive away from me, and that is 75-inch, and it was about double the price of what it is in the States, which is about right. Because you have duty, shipping, all this stuff has to get there. And then they're going to do a little markup so they can make some money off it, right? So
Right.
I was just like, okay, get that. And then they delivered it up here. And I live on this top of this hill, and the road is bad. I'm telling you, this is not like living in, in Naples or in Miami or something, right? So,
Right.
so so I had to wait for them to bring it up. And the thing about doing stuff like that too is I kind of like, it's a lot of these little businesses here, they're family owned. And I like giving them business too, because it helps out on the island. So if you're going to pay a little more and maybe not get the thing, I actually have a fan. There you go. I rather help out these guys. These guys are like, they've run this like shopping center. They're white Bohemians, and they've run this shopping center forever. And they always are good to me. So like, I rather just
Look, another fan.
I don't think he's a fan of me. I actually have a nickname for him. I actually have a nickname for him. He's a big melting ball washer. So
I met him. He's a good egg. He's an MLC guy. That's how I how I got to know you was from.
I think he was bragging about doing coke with Melton and AC. I remember he did say that.
I don't know. I wasn't involved in any of that. But we are gonna for the David Skarica fans. I have talked to him, and he's gonna show us the fridge magnets and the cabinets exclusive here.
Yeah, exclusive to the show. In about 15 minutes or so. I was cleaning up the house today because I didn't unbox it. Well, here's the funniest thing. Like, this shows you, this is the island thing. So on top of the TV, I had this iMac that I brought like last year. But I use his laptop all the time. I was like, I got to set this thing up. So I take it out of the box finally, right?
Right.
And I don't know if you know, they have these new cords, like the connection from the keyboard to the thing is a Thunderbolt 4. It's not C. Right. And I'm like, it doesn't come with one. And I'm like, you can't find that here. So I'm going to have to go on Amazon and I'm going to have to like order it, and it'll come in 2 weeks. So that's the kind of shit you deal with here.
So Peter Sky Parker, he wants to, now I know it's not a Geo Metro. It was a
Miata.
Do you still have the Miata?
Yeah, it looks really good. I repainted it like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And I redid. I put in racing seats.
Did you use a roller or a brush?
Actually, I spent a lot of money because I got a guy to knock out all the dents, like a body guy.
Right.
Repainted it. It looks like, but here's the problem: it's a 27-year-old car. And do you remember Captain Morgan, the crazy drunk, my friend?
Yeah.
Excuse my language, but he effed up the engine on it. Like he let it run hot. So I have to bring in a whole new engine for it. This has happened a few months ago, right?
Right.
And I'm trying to get one out of Nassau, but I think I'm going to have to get one off eBay and just ship it here. Because I was looking at it, it's really interesting because it's 27 years old. And it was the first year that they changed the model.
It's older than your girlfriend, right?
It is older than my girlfriend, right? So, she's 24. So there you go. So, but that was the first year they changed the model. Right. So it's kind of a classic. And I looked at what they were selling for in the States. I'm like, I got to get that new engine because I bought it for all in. I think I bought it for $1,600, and all in it was like $5,000 because we have to pay shipping and duty. We can segue into duties because of that now. Right. And then, and then I was looking I was like, these same model, same mileage, blah, 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 same year are like $15,000, $20,000 on eBay or whatever, Auto Trader. And I'm like, that means here on the island, they're like 25, 30 grand. So I'm like, I gotta bring in the new engine. So it will probably cost me about $5,000 to engine, install it, labor, all that stuff. Right. So whatever, I'm going to do that. So
I don't really know anything about the Bahamas. Okay.
No, you got to ship it in.
There's no I know you're on a smaller island, but is there like car dealers anywhere, used cars?
They're in Nassau, but the problem is this is a 1998 Mazda Miata.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty kind of rare, right? Like it's going to be tough to find that engine even in Nassau, right? Mm-hmm. So there's Toyota. The next car I'm going to buy a RAV4. So I'm going to get it at the Toyota dealership because cars have really high duty here. They're like 65%, right? But here's another thing: if you get a hybrid, because I guess they're trying to promote a bit of the E stuff,
Right.
Hybrids are only 10% duty, so that's pretty good. So,
Yeah.
yeah. But the 65% is a lot, because like that's why, like, when I bought that little $1,600 Miata, ended up costing $5,000 because the shipping's $1,000, and then they include the shipping on the duty, right? So if it's $3,000, you're paying the 65 on the shipping and duty combined. You're paying that on that, right? So,
I mean, is everything kind of a lot more expensive? Like you said, the electricity in the summer is about $1,000. What
yeah.
about just basically food?
I would say food is about twice the price. Okay, and people go, "Why would you live there?" Because I'm Canadian,
Right.
and I can get out of income tax legally by moving to the Bahamas, and I always paid my taxes, unlike someone else we know.
We're not going there with the taxes.
Yeah.
I don't care that
I know. I don't care.
if you think
so whatever.
allegedly.
I just, come on, let me do a little.
No,
job.
I know.
So
You got to get new jokes though. You got to get new ones.
anyhow, because the weather obviously is terrible in Canada, and by the way, because Canada is so liberal, and this is before a lot of the really bad woke stuff started happening. I was more worried about Canada from an economic standpoint, where you got all these baby boomers retiring. You have universal health care, which is expensive as hell to maintain. I was like, I don't want to pay like 45 or 50% of my income to the government the rest of my life. My dad's a judge. He was a lawyer, prosecutor before. So he's always, it's kind of weird. He's always kind of brought me up as a libertarian. I never did that thing. When that saying that if you're young and you're socialist, you're not socialist, you don't have, or sorry, if you're young and you're not socialist, you don't have a heart. And if you're old and you're not conservative, you don't have a brain. There's that saying. Right. And I was always like a libertarian because of the way my dad brought me up. And so I just decided I was going to move. And I actually went to Florida. I was in Pompano Beach, and I didn't like it. I was like, this is like Toronto. And I'm from a small town. I'm actually not from Hamilton. I'm from kind of a small suburb. And then I was in Nassau. I went on vacation. I was like, I like the Bahamas, and there's no income tax. And it's easy to move there as a Canadian. And it's, there's no culture shock. You're close to the States and Canada. Everyone speaks English. Right. So then I moved there, and then Nassau's pretty dangerous. There's a lot of crime. There's a lot of murders. Most of it's just like drug crime, But like, I even knew people that were getting their houses and apartments broken into and stuff. So I was like, I'm going to try some of these other islands. And Eleuthera was the one I liked the most. There's this bridge that Donnie talks about it in the videos. It's called the Glass Window Bridge. Okay. And it's where the Caribbean meets the Atlantic. And so one side of the bridge is all this beautiful turquoise water, and the other side of the bridge is the dark blue ocean. And anyhow, so I drove over that bridge when I came to Eleuthera. You put your car in the boat, and I just looked at the sun setting over the bridge, and I was like, yeah, man, I'm moving here. Yeah. And it's like Eleuthera's interesting, and Exuma's a bit like this. And Abaco was like that before the hurricane. Abaco's still a little bit like that because it's starting to recover now, because that hurricane was 7 years ago. But Eleuthera is interesting because it's slow and it's small, but there's really nice resorts, restaurants, little bars where people pay live music. So there's enough to do where you're not going to get bored out of your mind. There's islands called like Cat Island, Long Island. These islands have like 1,000 people on them. Right. There you're going to get bored out of your mind. There's like 3 restaurants on the island. There's nothing going on. They're beautiful, and they have these beautiful beaches, but you're really gonna have nothing to do,
Now, to get from island to island hop, like, do you have like a sea, a sea taxi, a water taxi?
No, that's a problem with the Bahamas. Like, Bahamas Air does fly to all the islands, and there's these smaller airlines too, but all the flights all come almost all through Nassau. There is a flight from here to Exuma and here to Abaco. But if I want to go to Freeport, I don't know if you know Freeport, that's kind of the second Freeport. Biggest. Yeah. I have to go through Nassau, and it's like a whole day thing. So actually an idea a friend of mine we haven't done it yet, but you can buy a seaplane for nothing, like 50 or 100 grand, and almost like buy a seaplane. And there used to be a famous, it's actually the first airline in the world, believe it or not. It's called Chalk. And it used to go from Florida to the Bahamas, and they had a fleet of seaplanes. They had a bad crash in 2006, and all the stuff came out that they weren't properly taking care of the plane, so that ended the company. Right. If you actually watch the old Miami Vice show, there's Chalk Airlines like in it.
Okay, right? I'll have to check that out.
Yeah,
Did they run drugs too? Run a lot.
Yeah. Like they run after, and there's a Chalk plane there, and Actually, Casino Royale, because that would have been just about the time Chalk shut down. I don't know if you remember that James Bond movie.
Yeah.
He comes off a chalk plane, like in the
Oh,
movie.
cool. I'll go check that out.
So idea we had would like, look, you can't really hop from island to island other than if you have your own boat. So it's like we should just buy a couple seaplanes, and then that could be like a charter service. You could go from these smaller islands to each other, and then especially like in the times of year where the water's flat, because we have those flat
like
Caribbean
nice
water.
glass water.
Yeah, you can just land in there. Like I remember I was at a place here called Coconut Mama. It's a resort.
Oh, the resort you would
that Donnie stayed at.
Donnie stayed at, because I thought about flying out there if you do have a Super Bowl get together, and that's where I want to stay.
Yeah. Mir, Chow, and Stancil are probably coming. It's not going to be a huge thing. It's probably like 5-6 people coming, but that's what I want.
Yeah.
I don't want.
Yeah. I mean,
No
I'm
offense,
inviting.
I don't want
I'm kind of I'm inviting myself here.
You're invited.
Yeah. So
yeah, Dan's invited too, but like I don't know. Him and Mir might clash right now. So.
Yeah. You know what? These little fights, they come and go. So, but
Mir thought it was hilarious when Dan said he thought Mir was gonna be a homeless person.
I think he was just chipping him,
Chipping a bit, yeah.
Yeah.
But
why don't we? I'm
anyway,
sorry to cut you off.
last story, just to finish that story, when I was at the resort, right now it's just you just rent rooms there. But they used to have I was eating at the restaurant. They used to have a restaurant, and I remember I saw this guy, the seaplane land, get out because the water's so flat and shallow, walk over with his girlfriend, order lunch, eat lunch, get in his plane, and take off. I'm like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's neat. That's neat.
Yeah.
I mean, is there a lot involved to be an expat? Because I've thought about it down the line. Yeah. If the country goes in a weird direction, that might be time to bail.
Yeah. Well, the problem with Americans is you guys are taxed on citizenship, not on residency.
Okay.
So now if you become a non-resident in the States, the first 100,000 is tax free. So I don't know what you make, but like I have a friend who just he's American. He met this Bahamian girl. Mm-hmm. He just lives with her, and he's a non-resident, and she has a bunch of businesses. So I don't think he declares anything, right? So right. Or he declares way under that. So and if you're just like retired, like, and you have all your money, you don't even need to declare anything. Like I met a guy here recently. He was an interesting guy. He actually is from about where you're from. You live near on the west coast of Florida, and he ran hospitals. And now just to do something in his retirement, he works at a little pharmacy here.
Oh, cool.
And he bought a house here, and he was like, he wanted to retire here. So obviously he's done it as well, right? And I think one reason the Bahamas is maybe made a little more affluent than the rest of the Caribbean is because it is the proximity to the States, right? Like I can get on a flight tomorrow and be in Miami in 30 minutes, right? Well, if you look at where like, I don't know, like the Turks and Caicos are, or where like, Barbados are, or Caymans or Jamaica, you're kind of a lot further away, know? Yeah. So it's kind of a little easier. And even getting stuff from the States. So you're asking, just to go back to that question. Yeah, you can use Amazon and eBay and all these things. And all you do is you have these shipping companies have a Florida address, and you just ship it to that address.
Okay. And then they handle the rest of it.
Yeah. Then they handle the rest of it. So
Yeah. And Kim Nichols had said in the chat about Puerto Rico. Now, I have a good friend that's Puerto Rican, but she told me she doesn't live there. She grew up there. She wants to go back, and she said it's so expensive now because, all the gringos basically went down there during COVID, and they bought up, the cheaper homes, and it's just as bad as here.
Here's why they did that. Actually, there's a loophole in the Puerto Rican tax. There's the only way Americans can get out of it. If you move to Puerto Rico and you become a resident there as an American, you pay no income tax, you pay 4% income tax or something really minimal, and then you pay no capital gains tax. I got a friend who is from Baltimore. He's worth like hundreds of millions. He made a lot of money in these mining stocks. And he's a young guy. He's mid-30s. His name's Colin. I mentioned him in my book, right?
Right.
And anyhow, he did that. He moved to Puerto Rico and did all that. I'm always joking with him. You ever seen that movie Driven? It's about John DeLorean, the DeLorean.
Oh, I did. You know what? I did see it like a long time ago when it came out. I mean, a few years ago. Yeah.
You know that was all shot in Puerto Rico.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, because I was watching it and I was like, it looks really beautiful there. But I'm like, that doesn't, it's supposed to be in San Diego. But I'm like, I know California's brown. and dry, right?
Right.
I'm like, that looks too green. And then I went on IMDb or whatever. I'm like, oh, that's shot in Puerto Rico. And because my friend made all this money. He has a stock called Newfound Gold. They found a big bunch of gold up in Newfoundland in Canada, and stock like zoomed up from like $1 to $10, right?
Yeah.
He's worth like, whatever, like 11 figures or something now, right? So anyhow, I would joke with him. I said, hey, you got to buy the house that's in the movie.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of movies they don't film. They film a lot of movies, up in Toronto. They've been filming movies. It's so expensive in California to do business anymore. They film a lot in Georgia, some in Florida, so it's never
Canada.
where they say
Trump
they
wants,
are. Yeah,
Trump
a
wants
lot
to
of
put a tax on the ones in Canada.
yeah.
Well, no, you would see that when you would go to Toronto or Vancouver.
Mhm.
Actually, one of the Hulk movies in Hamilton, the city I'm from,
Right.
there's like a fight scene in a big warehouse. It's like done there, and I remember I would go to the train station because for a while I worked for a company in Toronto and commute there, and like I would commute there. Where does Kim live? Sorry, I just saw her comment.
Oh, no. I believe she lives in Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico, okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but
And,
that might be it's a loophole for expats, right? Like I know. Sorry, I'm getting segued again, but
no. But it's really kind of not expats because it's a U.S. It's a
US
U.S.
thing.
territory. So I mean, you're still a citizen. You're an American citizen. But
but you don't know, because for example, in Barbados isn't like the Bahamas, like in
Right.
terms of the locals here pay no income tax too. I think the Barbados is very high, like local taxes, but you can still move there as kind of an expat, right? Because a lot of Brits, because again, Barbados is another former British colony.
Right.
They move down there and they don't pay taxes, right?
Right.
So yeah,
But yeah, my friend, like I said, they were looking into it, and there's still places up in the country. She was up by where was it? Oh, I can't think. Was it Umacao? She was up in the mountains, and it was like you can get like say apartments for $400, but they're very rudimentary.
yeah. Do you know a guy named Nick Johnson? He does like travel vlogs.
Nick Johnson.
Yeah, he has like a big channel. He gets like hundreds or millions of views on his videos, kind of thing. He actually just did a few in Canada. But the reason I'm talking about this is maybe this is like kind of serendipity of this episode.
Right.
He was literally just in Puerto Rico, and he went to one of these villages in the mountains, and he's like showing this house you can buy for like 80 grand. Like stuff like that.
Right.
And then they're cool little towns. I know that because it's kind of like the little towns here. It's like they all have a few little bars and restaurants, and everyone hangs out and everyone knows each other, and there's really no crime because like one thing I don't worry about getting stolen is my big screen TV or my car, because I'm like, where are you going to take it?
Well, the car I get. I'm only kidding. No, I'm only kidding.
Even the big screen TV. If these guys are driving on the back of it, people can be like, "Hey, literally, someone will call me up and say, Dave, these guys got your TV."
Yeah. I mean, did this come in like a truck barreling down? We're like two guys in the back of the truck, like each holding like the side, a corner of it, coming up the road. That's what I imagine.
Well, this happened to me once. So once I have this worker, his name's Elvis. He wasn't in the Donnie videos. His nickname is Psycho. So you can see like the kind of guy he probably is. And
Right.
so anyway, he was, I had a Mustang before I had the Miata, and the window broke or whatever, like the motor on the window. So he was supposed to install it. So I remember it was like a Wednesday or Thursday or something. I said, hey, bring it back by the weekend. And all of a sudden it's Friday night, and then it's Saturday and the car's not back. And I'm like, where is this? He's not responding to the calls or anything. And this is when he had a bit of a coke problem, right?
Uh-oh. Yeah.
And then literally someone said like, oh, the car is up north, like in another town, like by the coke dealer's house.
Right.
And then when he came, it was so crazy. He hadn't fixed the motor in the car. He was like this. And he was like, hey, boss, I'm sorry. And he was so hyped up on coke. I could literally I'm not a fighter at all. Like I'm a pussy.
Right.
But I could have kicked the crap out of him, if I wanted to. And I just shook my head and was like, this is island life, man.
Right. Yeah. Do you want to? All right. But like I said, I wanted to see. You want to do the outside
Yeah,
stuff and the
let's do
fridge
the
and all
outside
that?
stuff,
Yeah.
and then I'll do. So
Hang in there, Johnny Chopsticks. We're getting to it. We're getting to the meat of this. He says this is too much. We're getting there. We're getting to the outside, the beautiful outside.
Okay,
They
what is
want to see the fridge and the
Oh,
cabinets.
Jesus, really?
I
Okay,
told you
okay.
that they did. That's why you're called Fridge Mag Guy.
Yeah,
Uh,
I know, I'm joking. So
all
I'll be
right.
back in a second. I'm just gonna get my.
Okay, he's getting his
I gotta log
phone.
in on. I gotta log in on my phone.
All
So
right. So he's gonna go get his phone. We're gonna get the fridge, the cabinets, maybe the car. So in the meantime, I wanted to find out, Kim, where in Puerto Rico do you live? Just I'm not trying to dox. Like my friend always tells me about Puerto Rico and places I want to go there. I want to go to Isabela and Ponce are two places I'd like to go to. And, so we're going to talk about a trip out there because she stays at a condo in San Juan, so that's nice. But yes, we're gonna get to this whole thing with the fridge. Wait, Dave's phone entered. Oh, here we go. We're gonna get it. All right. His cabinet doors. We're gonna ask him about his cabinets. Hold on. Let me remove the old Dave out of there.
do you want to go?
You.
1 second. You want? I'm just gonna.
You're echoing back.
No. What I did is I just signed off my computer, and I'll just sign back on when I get back on the computer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, do you want to go outside or inside first? That's the question.
I don't know. What does the audience want? You want the outside or the inside? Let's do the outside because they want to see the cabinets. So we'll make them wait a little for that.
Yeah. So,
all right.
Yeah, and especially if they're fans of who, I'm gonna make them wait. So.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so this is what's really cool about the islands. So this is my yard,
Oh, that's neat. That's beautiful. I love it.
Yeah. So this, and when I was talking about, I'm going to go a little higher here. So this is where I was talking about the bush. Like this was all after those hurricanes. This was all ingrown, right? Or like all brown, and small.
Right.
So you can't even see it, but like over here is the the Caribbean, and over here is the Atlantic. So I watch the sunrise and sunset,
Right.
So I'll go over here for a second. Give me a second.
Okay.
So we were just cleaning up, so there is some stuff there. I'm going to show you the Miata. That's
Okay,
like I said, not running right now, but you can see it looks. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it?
I don't see the car. No. Oh wait, there it is.
Yeah.
Can you go closer? It looks real small.
Yeah, I just don't want to get too far away from my internet.
Okay, but you have Skylink. Elon is good with that.
Yeah, but this is pretty far away. So yeah, that's
okay. Yeah, that's it. You're at your limit.
That's.
Oh, come back.
Yeah. So one second, let me get.
Okay, yeah, you're
back
at
here.
that. It's like a dog, electric fence. Like you're at the limit where you're gonna get.
Yeah, I'm at the limit. Yeah. So, anyhow, that's the Miata. So you can see it's all. If you look at it compared to what was in the Donnie videos, it's all repainted and stuff, right? So I just need the new engine. So
right.
So okay, so this is I'm back in the house now, right? So look at my cabinet doors. Amazing.
Wait, let me see all of them. Oh, look at that. Okay. Let me see.
There you go. There's all of them. Okay.
Oh, wow. Oh my God. It looks way better. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, and I have all these I don't BS. Like when I talk about this on,
it was nice.
Yeah. I put all these stone kind of tiles up. Like when I talk about it on a mirror show, I'm not lying. I'm like, I did a big renovation.
Well,
no, the house looks.
Go back. Wait, let me see them again. Like just slow. For everybody's been excited for this, so that looks great. And you put in air conditioning, right? That's a new system. That mini split up there. Is that new?
No, that was there when Donnie was here. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had that for about 6-7 years. So yeah. So yeah.
And all right, go the other way. Go to the.
Okay, no, we're gonna go here.
I didn't see the fridge. Wait, I didn't. Oh,
this is just a little apartment fridge because my other one burnt out in a power surge.
All right, let's see those magnets. That's what they wanted to see. That's cool. All right.
Yeah. So.
All right, show us what else I see. A neat. Might as well do the whole thing.
No, I'm going to show you. This is the coolest thing. So this is really cool because we were talking about hurricanes. So this is my island.
Okay.
So these are like old, like 30, 40-year-old porcelain tiles. It's out from Italy. So what happened was, remember where I fell and hurt my shoulder in the Donnie videos?
Yes.
Yeah. So like that was Club Med. I was a Club Med. And in 1999, there was a hurricane called Hurricane. So now I'm like losing Floyd, and that destroyed the Club Med. And they never opened it up since because I guess they just realized it cost too much to rebuild it. And anyhow, somehow a friend of mine got all these old tiles from the hurricane. So I was like, you know what, I could have got granite or something like that. But I'm like, this is a great discussion piece,
No, it's beautiful.
Yeah. So my Captain Morgan did this recently. This was probably in the last couple of months. Because when Donnie was here, this would have been just like this, like a wood thing, right? So we put these on, and it looks beautiful. So
that's great. Did you put in floors too? The floors are very nice.
Yeah. I don't really like the floors. I'm actually going to redo them because here's what happened. I spent like $100,000 revamping my house, and I kind of was cheap on the floors and like anyhow. So anyhow, I'm going to redo them. I'm actually going to do something really cool. I don't know if you know what an epoxy is, right?
Epoxy, yes. I'm going to get my garage epoxy.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to do it in the house, and I'm going to have like neon floors and shit too. So,
yeah, they're cool because you can do a lot of patterns and a lot of add a lot of depth, to it. So yeah, definitely. And
I'll quickly show you my bedroom too. Why not?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And I see you have a We'll go back the other way, but I saw you have an F.
And this is like a friend of mine do this picture, which is very porno Dave.
I remember that. Yeah. I always think of Karmic, his music and his little big city bouncing girls. They remind me of your aesthetic. Yeah.
Anyhow, this is the bedroom.
That's nice. Beautiful.
Yeah, right now it's hot as hell in here because I've been sleeping in my guest room because my guest room is the coldest room in the house. But yeah, this actually came from Colorado. This was like a custom made canopy bed. I bought this about 10 years ago.
Is that what you I don't remember that. Was that what you had before when
I had that when Donnie's video was here. Yeah. So I had that imported from the States. So
do you have a rug, like an area rug, or what kind of floors did you do?
No, they're like it's not vinyl. It's I have to admit, I guess it's vinyl, but it's like I was cheap on it, I have to admit, and whatever. So also these are my curtains. They're new curtains. Oh, I know Melton was big on my curtains. So there you go.
So you have all new curtains. They don't look like grandma anymore,
Yeah, and actually I have one of the old ones here. That was my friend's wife made those for me, so I just kept them up. Come on. And I don't know. I think personally, I hate to sound insulting, but I think only a homosexual man would look at another man's curtains, personally.
And you have it's real big and open. Is that a one bedroom? Is there a guest room?
No, if you want to look at I have actually 3 bedrooms.
Okay.
My guest room's a mess right now, so I'm not going to go in there. Okay. So, but because when we were cleaning, actually, I put a lot of stuff back there. So, but anyhow, there's actually 3 bedrooms and there's a downstairs apartment. But I'm going to turn the downstairs apartment into a spa room. I'm going to buy a sauna from at Home Depot. You can get these saunas for $1,500, $2,000. I'm going to put a sauna down there, and maybe a little.
Can you put the car under there? Because I know in Florida the sun beats the heck out of the cars and oxidizes the plastic.
What I'm going to do? I got a little because I have 2 lots. I have half an acre, right? On the second lot, with the house is not built on, I'm going to just build a little overhang, and just. Just like a wood thing, and you can park the car in there, right? So that's what I'm going to do with that, right? No, you're right, because that's why, my Mazda was all faded, because it's it's 27 years old. It was in the Bahamas. It's been in the Bahamas for since 2013, so 12 years. So you said the sun just kills everything. And remember, I'm closer to probably the ocean, and we have more of the
Salt,
breeze
the
here.
salt,
So the
right.
salt kills everything. Like literally, like I look at sometimes my forks and knives, and they're like rusting, and they're like in the house, in the cabinets,
Right.
you
Right.
know, and they still rust, It's like like a friend of mine lived in Nassau, right on the water. He had like a nice stainless steel barbecue. Yeah, that thing was like brown in like 2 years.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
okay, I'm gonna sign off. I'm gonna come back on my computer or on my computer now.
Okay, I appreciate. Thank you so much for the house tour. It looks great. You've made a lot of improvements, and
What's
you know
funny is the last thing before we get it's funny because I would just watch those videos sometimes because they are funny with some
they
friends.
are funny. They are funny. I
And my
mean,
friend, and also the windows are all changed too. Like these windows, I had these. I'll talk a little more about the guy I bought the house from. So,
okay,
but like these are all hurricane proof windows and have the sliding. None of this stuff was there when Donnie came, right? So,
right.
the guy I bought the house from was. I'll explain it when I come back. But and I'll also explain he made me hate the Eagles for a while. So that's a good segue. I don't hate the
Okay,
Eagles anymore. But yeah.
okay,
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. All right, there we go. We got the promise. He promised me the house tour, and I gave it to you. I delivered. So he's done some updates. So that was pretty cool. And all right, love you. Bye. I don't know if you're talking to me, but I love you. Bye. So he'll be right back. Ask about Patrick. Ask about Patrick. Okay. So now you know what they want. They want. I have to go get some more coffee. So I'm
Okay.
going to leave you alone to talk to them. They want to know about Patrick Melton. So that's up to you.
Oh my God! Really?
They
I gotta talk about him?
Yes, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm just gonna.
What?
Oh, so I'll be right back. But I do
How
love the
many people
house.
are writing that?
How many? There's not even. There's like 18 people here, and we're two of them. So there's, you know.
Oh yeah. So
I actually, Harry Dunn, I will one day do a house tour. Actually, I will. So, and I have a new camera that I have to set up, and it tilts like it'll follow me around.
Well, I don't
So
want to sound like Bob Levy, but I'm actually putting in a pool and a guest house in the next year or two. So
okay, cool.
yeah,
And
yeah,
we'll check that out. That'd be
yeah,
nice. Yeah, get a guest house, and so Luke, my good friend Luke of the Bind, he wants you to talk about Patrick.
I don't know.
I don't know. Talk about whatever you want. Talk amongst yourselves. Let loose. Go wild.
Get your
And
coffee and whatever.
I want to top that off. Maybe I'll pour a little more vodka in the old Bloody Mary. Hit up the Costco.
Actually, yeah. What I'll start with, you go do what you're gonna do is that
yeah, and
the whole thing with my house. Just so you know,
yeah.
and I know you want to go do what you're doing. Is
No,
that
I listen. No, yeah.
do you ever go to I think there's like a DabbleVerse or Hackverse Anonymous or something on
Yeah.
Reddit.
Yeah.
There's a video that Patrick lived in this little crappy apartment in Manhattan, right? And Red Bar did a thing on his apartment. And first of all, the apartment is kind of sad. It's like he's 40 years old. It's like how a college student would live, right?
It's Manhattan, though. You know what I mean?
Manhattan,
Like you got to kind of get a pass on that.
The weirdest thing about it was he had a mirror over the toilet. Who has a mirror over the toilet in their bathroom, right?
Right.
The joke I made on mirror shows was that it's probably the only way he can see his dick. So, right? So
I'm trying to think because my bathroom has a big ass mirror, and I think it actually goes from the toilet to like the other part of the wall.
But it's over the sink. Like this is just a small mirror. It's just over the toilet, which is strange. Right?
Yeah.
But anyhow, it's more the point that like Red Bar is making fun of his apartment. And then I saw that I'm like, he just ripped that off. Like that's what he's doing. It's just
all right. Well, you talk about Red Bar and
So.
and Melton and mirrors over the shitter and all that. And I'll get but I don't mean to be vulgar like that, but I'll go get some coffee and maybe a little more Costco in there. Don't tell anybody. All right, I'll be right back. And you can talk to the.
Actually, I'll do a little promo for you. Okay.
Okay. Oh, you're going to do the books?
Yeah, this is my new book.
Talk about the book. I'll be back.
yeah, this is my new book. Before we talk about that, and oh, okay, I'm here now. Okay, so yeah, this is my new book. I know you can get it on. I think it's $25 on Amazon. So it's published by HumanX, which is the financial publishing arm of Newsmax. I haven't really made any money off it, but that's okay. I did really good in the Newsmax IPO. So this is another cool book. So you have to type in Dave Skarica. So if you have any kids and want to learn about investing, this is like a little story I did. It's like a fictional story. And I self-published this. It's just like something I did for fun about 20 years ago. Yeah, in terms of Patrick, I don't know. It's just my issue with him is the hypocrisy. Is like when I did my research into him, because someone's going to go after you. You're going to do research. First of all these guys like JMO, they're like, you are so obsessed. It's like, dude, some guy does like 3-hour videos on me, which I've watched maybe 3 minutes of. Yeah, I'm going to find out who the guy was. So you just do a simple background check. And it's like, he had to make a deal with the IRS in 2019 because he didn't pay his small business taxes for 7 years. In 2014, he had to pay a $14,000 fine or settlement because some like court thing that went against him. So I'm like, this guy's calling me all this stuff. And of course, he did that thing where he went to Scotland and he didn't provide the videos for his fans, right? And then what he used to do when he owed the IRS money is he would like do fundraisers, but he wouldn't be like GoFundMe. It's kind of like what he does with Super Chicks. He always tries to, he's Patrick's a little shady. He does these, he tries to circumvent the system. So he would do like a fundraiser, but he would do it on a website and he'd get the fan to collect the money because if he got the money, the IRS would probably seize it because he owed the IRS money, which is like, and then, there's a clip on Red Bar, which like Red Bar is calling him out on this. I'm going to do this on a show some point. And like he has the most guilty look in his face of all time. So that's basically it with Patrick. Whatever. I really don't care as much as people think. Like, and when I go after him, I go after him because he doesn't like to be called fat and ugly, even though he is fat and ugly. So stop being fat and ugly. Like go to the gym, So, that's basically it. That's all I got to say. Like, I'm not looking at the chat, so I don't know what else to say other than that. So. That's it. That's all I got to say. Like, and I don't think he's funny. I think his comedy's terrible. And this is not my personal feelings aside. Have you ever watched his comedy? He has no confidence on stage. When he was on Legions of Skanks, it was one of the worst like interviews I've ever seen in my life by anyone. So whatever. He can do a few things here and there that kind of make you chuckle and laugh. And but whatever. That's it. It's just, and I think it's weird that again he's kind of morbidly obese. And he watches like fat people that can't wipe their butt. Like that's strange to me. It's just like, to me, he's a lot of projection. He calls people scammers because he's done these shady things. He making fun of fat people because he's fat and unattractive. It's kind of sad in a way, right? I think he's kind of a damaged guy, right? And I think he has stalking tendencies, like what he's done to Aaron, whether if you like Steel Toe or hate him. Like, come on, flying up there, going to his gym, that would creep me out. Like if he came down here to this island and went to the places I hang out at, I'm friends with all the cops here. I'd be like on the phone to them saying, get this guy out of here, So, it's weird, So, and here's the thing about it. And this is the DabbleVerse thing we're talking about. Nobody cares about this stuff outside you guys in your little world. Like literally, I have never had one business contact, one company I work with. I did write a publication for about a year, where the guy said, hey, who's this Onions guy? And all he said about it was, he's a weirdo. He's like stalking you. And who would watch this for 3 hours? Anyhow, I think I did good. Because I'm not reading the chat. I'm just on here. So.
Hey, did you get it all out? Did you talk about the
yeah. So I talked about the Red Bar stuff, and so let's not even talk about it any further.
No, cool. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Thank you. Got a break. I filled up my drink, and
I think that is a good segue to we're going to talk a little bit about DabbleVerse, but not like in detail, like more about the whole thing, because we've had interesting voice messages back and forth.
Right.
Deb is probably the only one who voice messages as much as me. So I love that because we're both little, you know. So, but like the way I equated, because we were both big MLC fans for a
Right.
while. You know, I did all
Right.
the super chats, and I was Ronnie loves MLC and my own self, and I was like KKK Kumia was me, and I just do these joke accounts, right?
Right.
And anyhow, so it's like, but I almost feel like it's like an addiction, and it's like pro wrestling and soap operas are
And reality TV, like a
reality
little bit of
TV
that.
is kind of is popular for the same way. There's no end to what's happening, right? It's
Right.
like, you know, football season, there's an end, right? Someone's going to win the Super Bowl. Every 4 years, someone's going to win the World Cup, right? But like, and no matter whatever happens in the future, like if you're the worst coach in the NFL history, but you somehow found a way to win one Super Bowl, people are going to remember you for that, right? So,
Right.
but with DabbleVerse, it's like how long has, you know, Days of Our Lives been on and all these things, right? Like how long have these shows been on for? And it's always like, you know, the next thing that's going to happen, like the next drama that's going to happen. And that's what the DabbleVerse is like. And I guess if you're a fan, it's kind of like football, like you're a fan of the Steelers or the Raiders or Patriots or whatever, or Eagles. It's like you're looking to win, and someone thinks like, oh, I'm a fan of Patrick, or I'm a fan of Chad and MLC. They think that their guy's going to win, but I don't think anyone's ever going to win. It's just it's in their it's in their interest to keep it like going and going, like wrestling, right?
Right.
You know, like in wrestling, it's not like, again, like, you know, like you don't even remember how many times Hulk Hogan won the championship, right? If he lost it, you want him to win it back, right? It was
Right.
because wrestling's like soap opera for men. I think this is soap opera for kind of like boomers or whatever. Like, you know, not that
Right.
you're old, Deb.
Right. No. But no, but it is kind of like a soap opera, and you get sucked in. I mean, I think everybody's kind of sucked into the like dynamic with Felicia, Karmic, Pat. That kind of thing is interesting to people now.
Yeah, like I don't watch it anymore, but I have to say I watched their thing and I found it kind of a little interesting. Like I did find their dynamic, and Karmic's this guy from the small town, and he's never like you know, really left like, you know, buttfuck Minnesota or wherever he's from, right? You know, and
Right.
it's interesting that like now he's kind of hooked up with her. It's like, you know, he's whatever. It's like why is she doing that just to spite Pat Dixon? Who knows what's going on, right?
Right.
But it is a kind of interesting dynamic or whatever. And then when Chad but I think it goes too far. Like, does anyone care if Chad and Kevin fight anymore? It's like happened so many times. Like, he's been kicked
I
off.
want Chad and Kevin to fight. That's fun.
That's when it's good. I
When they
know.
fight, I want them to
yeah.
fight again.
Yeah.
So, you know, so it's stuff like that. Yeah.
Stuff like that, right? So, but I think the thing with Steel Toe kind of has gone too far. It's like, okay, you want to make him Stuttering John and make fun of him, fine, but like to fly up there and go to all his places, hangs out, that's weird to me. That's like being a stalker. Like that's
Chad just went up there. Well, he had a gig. Chad had a gig up there, so he went.
No,
to,
I don't care what gig. I'm talking about when Patrick did that. Like that was weird to me. That's like, you know, he went to his court hearing. That's like whatever. That's like, you know, especially because the way he's talked about his kids and stuff in the past as well. I could see why someone would be freaked out by that. So, and I don't even understand this session, Aaron. I even joke around with him sometimes. At Aaron, I think you're the most boring guy of all time. I can never watch your show for 3 hours. You know? So.
Yeah. Hey, no, I find this show kind of boring. He just asks for money all the time and stuff. And speaking of asking for money, I'm not going to ask you for money, but I'm going to ask you to hit the like button. I'm going to ask you to subscribe, and I'm simulcasting this. I'm trying to build up my channel. I think I had like 18 subscribers because I don't do anything on my channel. I'm starting to do it now. Like I was able to do the simulcast. So if I get 50,
well, hey, after this,
I get 50, I can do live streams, and I can go do like you and go out and about and, you know, film, walk around my house when, you know.
Well, here's the deal. After this, I will sub to the channel, okay? Or like pay sub.
Sub
well,
to
here's another thing. What I have to do in the Bahamas. You want another aspect?
Yeah.
So to like buy a lot of things or get stuff online or stream my sports online, I have to use VPNs. Like I have to like right now I'm not on the VPN, but like I have to get a US VPN that it will allow me buy super chats or whatever, and you can make it look like I'm in the States or Canada or whatever, right? And then yeah. So
And you have to do that too if you want to. I like, yeah, like Netflix, for example.
Well, Netflix,
Certain
you can
things, certain
get your
things that were blocked. Like there's Canadian shows that British shows I want to watch,
yeah,
but
yeah,
they're blocked for U.S. audiences.
yeah.
They're only streamed in the respective countries. So if I get a VPN, I can kind of spoof where I'm at.
Yeah, I do that for sports. Like I subscribe to a bunch of different services, and the way I get the Sunday tickets through a Canadian one, and the way I get just regular sports through American ones, and I use American VPNs and stuff like that. And VPNs are good too because they protect you. Maybe they got a sponsor, right? And they actually make your internet faster as well. So
Right.
yeah. So
Yeah. How's your you have Starlink, so you don't have anything wired. They don't.
I love the Starlink. Like before, what I was doing is they had these little router boxes that just ran off like the 5G network here. It's 4.5G, I guess. And it was good enough. Like I could do this kind of thing, but streaming sports, I get the circle of death, and
Right.
and Starlink is only $70 a month. And I think the Bahamas doesn't care about Starlink because like the cable company, which is Cable Bahamas,
Right.
to like to wire up an island like this, which is 200 miles north to south and only has 10,000 people, would cost them a fortune. They'd lose money on it. So I think they're kind of like, just get Starlink. We don't care. Like you're actually saving us money by doing that, right? So
Right.
yeah. So I got Starlink, and the nice thing about Starlink too, because if a hurricane hits, I can just I have it sitting on my deck. I didn't even put it on my house, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like if a hurricane hits, I can just put it in the house, and then when it comes through, and when I run my generator, just put the Starlink out there and get it, right?
Well, that's the thing I was going to say to you too. You were saying like the downstairs storage area or whatever it is now. And you
Yeah.
want to make it like a guest area.
Yeah.
But don't you run the risk of floods and water in there if you do get a hurricane?
Yeah, but I'm not going to do that much in there. Like I'm just going to put like a sauna, and it's a simple little thing. It's not going to be anything crazy.
Dave, you could make it a sex dungeon.
Sex dungeon, yeah. I can have like the
Like the swing,
swing and the whips and like that thing that people go in. I don't even know what that is, right? Hey, Porno Dave's.
Porno Dave. But anyway, Porno Dave, what's the dating scene like? If somebody
There
moves
isn't
out
one.
there?
I just use websites. Like I'll use Tinder or Seeking Arrangement. And the Colombian girl I met now, I'll tell you how I met her. I met her on a webcam site. I guess I'm like Jim
Norton. You're like Norton. Yeah.
I know. I just met her, and we would start talking, and she's like a nice girl. Now she's a bartender, and she's going to culinary school to become a cook.
Is she a she or a she?
Oh, she's a she, right?
All right. Okay.
But like she hated doing it. She only did it because the average person in Colombia makes $400 a month, right?
Right.
And you can make 5-10 times that easy on the webcam thing. And then she hated it. She hated the creepy guys and all that stuff. So she, whatever, I got her number, and we just kind of been and like she's an only child, and her dad and her mom split up. She kind of takes care of her mom and stuff. So like, yeah, she's gonna come here in a couple months. So
that'll be cool. Definitely.
Yeah. So,
but it's it's difficult, I guess, isolated on an island.
Oh yeah. I actually did.
Everybody probably, except maybe some tourists if it's a big tourist area.
When I first moved here, I actually met a girl I dated from here. Like she was on vacation, and actually, believe it or not, she was my own age. I was in like 35 at the time, right?
Right.
She was like 35.
Right.
She was from Austin, and she's a gorgeous girl. She was half Irish, half Mexican, which is a weird combination.
That's a good combo, though.
She's beautiful. And I talked to her one time, and it wasn't because I'm like this. It was like she did webcam. Like that's what she did, right? Like I could kind of tell, like looking at her, she kind of that stripper look, right? So, but anyhow, she anyhow, we went out for a few months. We had a lot of fun and stuff. But I think the problem more than like no one being here is more you have to find someone who would like the island lifestyle if they're going to come here and move like more permanently, because it is slow here. There's no malls. There's no.
And I'm sure
one movie theater. You have to be an outside person. You have to want to go to the beach. You have to, all that sort of thing.
And I'm sure from some of these countries, they are used to that. If they live, especially like in a village in the coast, that they're kind of used to that. And those like kind of, third world or South American countries, like they have a slower pace.
Well, perfect
Yeah.
example. We were talking about the guy I bought the house from Philadelphia.
Yeah.
He was married to a Puerto Rican girl, and that's where he met her.
Right.
And she was fine with it here. They had 2 kids together, and then anyhow, and then the kids lived here, even though he was American and she was from Puerto Rico. And I guess she was fine with it because she's from Puerto Rico, right? And the island life and surfing and kind of slower pace and stuff, right? And I don't think she was from San Juan, because San Juan's the city, right? Like she was from somewhere there. Oh, the last thing is to segue back to like when I was talking about him. So one reason my house didn't look that great was this guy did the cheapest. The house showed really well. I bought it in 2011, right?
Right.
But the roof was a disaster. And for like years and years and years, I'd patch up this part of the roof and I'd patch up this part of the roof. And then in 2018, Hurricane Dorian hit. And even though the hurricane wasn't bad here, it sat for like 2 days. It did piss rain here. And I just got tons of water damage in the house. And I was like, so in 2019, just before Donnie came,
Right.
I redid the whole entire roof. Like this whole roof is only like 5 years old, basically 5-6 years old. So, but the problem was I hadn't put in the new flooring yet, and so because Donnie had no place to stay, so that's why I had him here. Right. So the house had water damage in it, and that's why it didn't look that great. That's basically.
And it was a pandemic, and you couldn't really
yeah.
get supplies and contractors and different things like that.
Yeah, and here's the thing: my mortgage was paid off in 2021, so I was also like, well, I'm going to pay off my mortgage, then do all the upgrades.
Right.
But then when the pandemic hit, actually after the pandemic, like fall of 2021, I was like, fall of 2020, I was like, I'm going to do this now because, like, what else am I going to do? Like, you can't really travel now. I was making a lot of money. Like my business was really good then. I'm like, I'm just going to do it now. Who cares that the mortgage is done in a year, right? So I was doing I do a lot of consulting. Actually, I make way more money off that than I do the newsletter publication. Like companies, we do marketing and they pay me, and then also I invest in the IPOs. Like I did really well. Actually, I show my book, Newsmax.
Oh,
yeah. I was in the Newsmax.
You kind of did like you got
and
in.
It was a pain in the ass because I couldn't get my certificate in my account quick enough because it went from $10 to like $200, right? And I bought it 10, and by the time, which was like 2 days later, because it went up and down so fast, pumped and dumped so fast, I got out around 50. So I made 5 times my money. I'm still fine with it, so.
Right. And I wanted to let people know Dave is going to be so kind as to have his publisher send me some copies of his book, hopefully. And
we'll do this.
And I want to put up my post office box. That's where it'll be going. And we're going to do some giveaways. And when I get them, that'd be nice. And I'll read it too. We can discuss it more in depth. And I'll see if I agree with what you have to say. And we can discuss that.
Yeah, I know you want to talk about crypto. Like right now, the market is really overvalued. Now, I've been wrong on this in the past. Because you're like I don't want to say a victim, but you're a product of your experiences, right? Right. And in 2008, and I have no problem like sharing this, I lost my ass, right? Like in 2000, when I started in 2000, at the time I was like 23, the gold and gold stocks went up and the market went down. So I was making huge money. Actually, there was a website called Stock Focus, right? Anyhow, they tracked 300 newsletters. At one point, I was ranked like 3rd or 4th out of the 300 because I was basically in gold stocks when it were going up and everything else was going down. So in 2008, I'm like, oh, that's the same thing's going to happen. And then the gold stocks all crashed and mining stocks all crashed with the market. And I was like, that's one reason I bought my house a few years later, because I was like, I need a house. I was renting. I was like, I lost my ass in the market. I'm like, I need something concrete to own on top of just these, pieces of paper, basically, which our equities are. So, and then this whole bull market, I wrote a couple books. I was convinced when the Fed would start raising rates in 2014 and 2015 that the market was going to tank. And there was a pretty big correction in 2015, but it never really happened. And, and now it's even more insane than it was. I won't bore people with stats, but there's an indicator called the Buffett indicator. It's Warren Buffett's favorite indicator.
Buffett, yeah.
And it just takes the size of the economy and the size of the stock market. And right now, the stock market compared to the economy, it's the highest it's ever been. right?
Mhm.
So that means the market compared to the actual real economy is really overvalued. It's higher than 1929. It's higher than 2000.
Right.
2021 was actually the previous peak, and then the market did have a pretty good size pullback in 2022. So I do have a few. Like I was in the GoPro when it spiked recently. It was one of these meme stocks.
Right.
I bought it because it was cheap, but then when I found out it was a meme stock, it was a great trade. I bought it
I
like
bought like for a meme. I mean, I bought like a long time ago Doge. Dogecoin is fun, and I made money on that.
on that.
So
Well, yeah. So
yeah,
what happened with GoPro is I bought it like 80 cents. I'm like, they have too. I know they're burning too much cash, but anyhow, I was like, I think this can go to like $3-4, and then all of a sudden it started spiking like crazy, like 3 days later, kind of thing, right?
right,
And then I was like, then I read, oh, it's one of these meme stocks, and they had a pretty big short position. So around $2, I sold it, and I think it's $1.20 now. So because I knew it wasn't real, I knew it was just like this short squeeze. So and
right.
actually, I was going to mention Doge. So one thing about crypto that worries me always is just how like overvalued some of these things can get because and the booms. Like Doge right now is a $34 billion market cap, right?
Right.
And Ford, which is one of the biggest automakers
Right.
in the world, has a $46 billion market cap. So how ridiculous is that Doge is basically 3/4 the value of Ford, right?
Yeah.
It's a joke, like it's a joke coin, right? So
Right.
like Bitcoin, you can argue is a currency. I
Bitcoin.
argue,
No, go
I
ahead. I'm
argue,
sorry.
I argue in the book it's really not. I argue it's a risk on trade. Like if you compare Bitcoin and the Nasdaq, they like trade together. So
Mm-hmm.
Bitcoin trades with Microsoft and Tesla
Right.
and the Magnificent Seven stocks, and it's like got like a 90% correlation. And see, gold is different that way because gold can go up when everything else is going down. So I argue whenever there is a big drawdown in the stock market, and Bitcoin has history of this. It did this in 2018. It did this in 2022, 2023. It has these huge run-ups, and then it falls 70 to 80%. So what I'd say in the book basically is I would only buy it after one of these big drawdowns. Like that's what I say.
Right.
And I also mentioned the ETF may not be as positive as people think, because what's happened is all the weak hands are now in, right? The
Yeah.
people that were the hodlers and the hardcore people, they're just buying it on, in their wallets and stuff. But the problem is with the ETFs, those are the people that are just trading it. And if it starts falling a lot, the ETFs gives them an easier out. They're saying, okay, get me out of this. And people, it's mass psychology. People they get fearful. Like when I talk about maximum pessimism, it's actually you want to buy when everyone else is scared.
Well, that's,
right?
I mean,
Yeah,
you're talking about Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett says when it's like buy the dip. When the stocks are down, the market is on sale.
Yeah.
It basically.
Yeah, like what happened is I was mostly before that big, before the kind of Trump tariff tirade happened, right, in April.
Mm-hmm.
I was mostly in these like conservative dividend stocks, and I actually sold a lot of them because I was like, okay, there's a lot of fear in the market at that time, and I'm going to buy more of these leveraged companies because, like they're the ones that are going to move when this comes back more than the reason I had these safe dividend plays is because I was worried that there would be a market decline. And one of my positions is Altria. That used to be Philip Morris.
Philip
MO.
Morris, yeah.
Yeah,
I had that position. Yeah.
And I'm up like 70% on that. It pays like an 8-9. Like that's something I will like never sell. Like it's just I don't even worry about it. If it goes down 20-30%, I don't care. Like it's just if it goes down more, I'll just add more because you have the dividend and whatever. And there's all these other strategies you can use of reinvesting dividends. Like I have a friend named Bill Spatrino. He runs something called the Dividend Machine. This guy is just like an average working class guy, and he sold like sports memorabilia, and he's made millions because he bought Philip Morris. Remember when they had all the lawsuits,
Right.
over tobacco like 20 plus years ago? He bought it then and just reinvested the dividends, and the stock is up like 20-30 times, and it's like like and plus all the dividends he gets every year, right? And it's really crazy on stockcharts.com, which is the service I use for trading.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the reinvested dividends, like you can actually adjust the stock price for the dividends, right? Mm-hmm. Like if you adjust it for the dividends in the performance, it makes a big difference. Like you can have a stock that goes sideways for 20 years, but if it's paying 10% a year, you're accumulating tons of money, right? So,
Right.
Yeah. So
Yeah, no, it's good stuff. Definitely. I have to
That's
do
the boring finance stuff part.
No, that's good. That's good. And I have to do a little promo here. Let me get to it. Okay. All right. Just bear with me. And this is where your publisher will send those books that we'll give out to some lucky Skaricans, whatever we want to call your
I
fans.
don't know, man. Someone the flimsy.
I'll give them one in AC if you sign it. All right. Hold on a sec. Let me just play this. All right, that's good. No, that's good. So,
Hey, one thing I'll actually just to get last thing on the DabbleVerse we talked about in our messages.
yeah,
What's funny about it too is like if we were talking about how ridiculous it is, like we're talking about have a girlfriend or whatever. Like if you tell somebody about this thing outside of people in it, it's like it's ridiculous. When I was trying to explain to her this whole thing, I'm like, no offense, I was like, this is fat guy in Vegas. He was like going after me on the internet, and I showed him a picture, and she's like, what? That guy's making fun of anyone, right? And it's like, and it's just how stupid it is. And then you look at yourself, and you're like, how stupid am I that I was part of this? That I calculated one day. I'm like, I sent Kevin Brennan $7,000 with super chats in 2023, and I'm like, I'm an idiot. No offense, Kevin.
Could have bought a lot of Altria for that.
yeah, exactly. Forget that. I could have bought 7 more grand in the Newsmax IPO and made 5 times on my money.
Right.
Right. So that was not a good investment. Yeah, and that investment basically got me ridiculed on the internet by some failed comic in Las Vegas. So,
Are you still in the crypto space?
Right now, I'm not, because I said like there's these big drawdowns that happen.
Right.
So I'm just kind of like, I have a few stock positions right now. I have one. Some of these I can't mention because they're for paying subscribers, right? So I have one right now. It's going to come out with earnings in a couple of weeks. And to be honest with you, I'm more of an equity guy anyhow. And you understand, when I had my first book actually that predicted the tech bear market it was called Stock Market Panic of 2000 to 2002. Okay. It was published in 1998 when I was like 21 years old, right?
Right.
And anyhow, so then I was doing a lot in mining. So I have a lot of contacts. So I do like a lot in junior mining, which are little mining companies in Mexico or States.
I don't know. Don't say junior mining on this channel, okay? Nothing. Forget it.
Okay. Okay. So I do a lot in mining, and I buy private placements, and I raise money for the companies and stuff like that. So that's kind of my crypto. You have to stick to what you know.
Right.
And they're very volatile companies like that. I had one go up. Actually, that's how I paid for my house. I put 10 grand into a small company called Tinka, and it went from 10 to like 60, 70 cents, or it's like 50, 60 cents. And they have a thing called a warrant. That's an option to buy another share, and the warrant's at a fixed price. So there was a warrant at 15, so I could buy another 100,000 shares at 15. So I had 200,000 shares at like I said, 60 cents. That's 120 grand. And at that time, the Canadian dollar was on par with the US dollar. Right. So I sold that, told my broker, send me the 120 grand. That's the down payment for my house. And then
that guy gets it. All right.
and then anyhow, this is luck though. I bought the house in 2011. If you look at a graphic of housing prices, I basically bought at the bottom of the market, and it just happened to be because the stock went up, and nothing to do with me being a genius or something. So
right.
Yeah. And my house, despite being made fun of for my house, I bought it for $350. It's probably worth close to $1 million now because of what the prices are down here, right? So
right, especially with like the improvements, absolutely, exactly. So well. Yeah.
Well, the reason I know that is actually the guy we're going to have on Mir's show on Monday, Todd Wade. He used to be a right tackle for the Miami Dolphins. The reason I met him is he bought a house down the road from me. It's on the ocean. So it's worth a little more, but it's very similar size, setup, wraparound deck. And he bought it for 1.1. So I was
Right.
like, well, he bought it for 1.1. He's on the ocean. I know it's worth more, but I'm on a hilltop and I have that double ocean view. I just thought to myself, I'm probably 900 to a million, like that range, So
And you said you told me on message that you live up the road from Lenny Kravitz, which I thought
yeah,
was really cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm used to dating young girls, even though who he is, right? But
Right.
if
Right.
you type in like Lenny Kravitz Bahamas on YouTube, you'll see some of the advertisements. And there's one advertisement, literally, he's in the little town, Gregorytown, it's called, where I'm from, and I know everyone in that video, right?
Right.
But my mom's like highlight of her life is that some friends of ours, I'm Jewish, right? And they were Jewish and they owned a little resort here. They were from
Right.
Ottawa in Canada,
Right.
and they had something for a Passover one year. And then we went to a little bar afterwards, and my mom danced with Lenny Kravitz. It's like the highlight of her life.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I still
Yeah.
remember he came over to me. He's like, "Your mom's real cool." And my
Yeah.
mom's like a
Yeah.
Jewish Utah. Sorry, I love you, Mom.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But like, and all I said to him is, "Lenny, you've been living in the bush too long, man." Yeah.
Is he there year round or?
Well, you know who his mom was? You remember Roxy Rocker?
Yeah, I do. Roxy
Yeah, yeah.
Roker.
That was his
Yeah.
mom, right?
Yeah.
He was on the Jeffersons.
Yep.
And I think he was really close. Unfortunately, she died in her early 60s of cancer. And I think he was kind of a mama's boy, right?
Right,
And
right.
he was really close with her. I think he has a big picture in his house of his mom up in the living room and stuff. So I think he's really kind of like older women who are like motherly. Like a lot of my friends told me he's got like a soft spot for them and stuff like that. So yeah, he lives up the road. He's ridiculous. Like he bikes on the island, even though you think it's a good biking island because there's not a lot of traffic. People drive like crazy. I won't bike here, but he'll bike in like all leather. So I'll have like a leather like
So you
pants
sort of like
on.
a motorcycle. You mean
No,
motorcycles?
like a
Oh.
bicycle, like in
Oh,
all
okay.
leathers.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's ridiculous. In black leathers, and it's like 90 degrees outside.
Oh gosh. Wow.
With the weather, because we just to go back to what we talked about earlier. Yeah. So one thing that Bahamas actually has better weather than Florida, in my opinion,
I think so. I think so at least now.
because
Right now for sure.
we have the ocean breeze, and also we're in the jet stream. So in the summer, we're more temperate, right? So in the summer, we don't really get above 90, even though it feels hotter because it's humid, right? And you can get those, especially in the central Florida and the swamp, you can get 100, 110 or whatever.
Yeah.
And then in the winter, when those cold fronts come through, we really don't get below the 60s. Where like Miami can be 40 degrees, and in northern Florida, you can get frosts or even snow, right? So
Right. They had it this past winter in like
Yeah, yeah.
Jacksonville area. They got some
here
snow.
really doesn't
Yeah.
get below 60. Like that will be at night too, right? So I think we have better weather here because of that. So we don't get as cold in the winter and we don't get as hot in the summer. So I think and like you said, actually today there is a pretty nice breeze. I think people could see that. But this has been a brutal summer in that if there's enough of a breeze, because I am on top of this hill, I don't need the AC. I can just open all my windows and let the breeze roll through the house, right? And I don't
Right.
even like AC. I just use it because the problem my house has no insulation and it is hot. Like that bedroom, my bedroom I showed you, because
Yeah.
I've been sleeping in there. I've been sleeping in the guest room because it's cooler, and I've been using the AC. But that house, that bedroom was like a furnace when I went in there.
Well, and you have you kind of have the high ceilings there
Yeah,
that go up to a point. It's kind of like it's like a tent. It reminds me
yeah.
of a big tent.
And it
And
makes it like I'm gonna
and-
get another ductless because I think that
Right.
will really keep it cool. So but I don't know. I'm pretty unfussy when we had that power outage and I used my generator. As long as my generator is running a couple fans on me, I'm fine. Like I at night I can sleep like that. I
No,
don't need it.
your generator, is that solar powered?
No,
Or is
it's
that
just the
gas,
regular.
or do you
It's
just
nothing fancy. It's just the gas. 'Cause the reason
Okay.
I haven't gotten like a big one that can power the whole house
Right.
is because I'm gonna go solar, right? So and run basic stuff on that. So I don't really want to waste that kind of money on that one. I'd rather actually pay for. And solar here makes sense when I told you what the energy rates here are.
Yeah.
Here
Yeah, that's
it makes sense
crazy.
because
Yeah.
it's not. You're actually like if you save, I don't know, like if I'm paying on average $6,000 a year, $7,000 a year for power. If I pay 10 grand for solar to cut that in half, the payback's 3 years.
Right.
So yeah. So
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, definitely at those it's not worth it here, for
because US is
solar.
cheap. You have natural gas. You have cheap energy there, right? So
Yeah. I
yeah.
mean fairly cheap. I mean, my house is 1,800 square feet, almost 1,900 square feet. So I have of course the AC's going all the time.
Yeah.
Right now it's $150.
Oh yeah. See, like yeah,
That's not bad at all. And I have
not bad,
the pool runs of 6 hours a day,
well, and
sometimes
I
more.
I also run more stuff than other people. I got fridges. I got a back freezer because I like to buy good high end food and I just keep it in the back freezer. And I have oysters back there. Like you can't find. I ship them in and So see, I'm not poor. Yeah. So right. So and I have a hot tub. So yeah, I do have like a little more house that uses a little more energy than probably the average house.
How is the fishing there? I mean, did it?
Oh, the fishing's awesome.
Can you get what's the like here the big fish is grouper is one of the most.
Grouper, snapper, mahi. One of my favorites. I don't know if mackerel, not the mackerel in the can, like the fresh mackerel from the ocean.
Right.
I don't know if you like sashimi.
I do. I love
mackerel is like the best sashimi fish, and if you can't find it, actually, then we have the island is really famous for stone crabs. Like Captain Morgan, he used to work on the stone crab boat.
Right.
We have lobsters, but they're more like crawfish. They're not the main type lobsters. The ones I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
So, but the stone crabs are awesome, and So we have, and actually one thing that's cool is I have a friend who works on a lobster boat. He's an interesting guy. His nickname is a Spider, right?
Okay.
And he actually shave like a Spider-Man in his head,
right?
And he wears cowboy hats.
Is he a black guy or a white guy?
White guy.
I just want to get the visual. Yeah.
He's like dark black. But he wants to be white. He always is complaining that he has his Bahamian passport, not his British passport, because the Bahamas only became independent in like 1974, right, or 1973, right? And he works on a lobster boat. There's a place here called Spanish Wells. It's actually all white Bahamian. It's a little island that maybe has 1,000 people on it. It's very affluent. It's a beautiful little town. There's no crime there. It's a little island just north of me. So anyway, he works for these guys on the boat. He's the cook on the boat. And they actually catch octopus with stone crab, and no one here likes it. So he'll just give it to me for free.
Yeah.
And I love octopus.
So, Oh, that's cool. Yeah. There's some characters, on the
here
islands like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And everyone has a nickname. Like I met a guy, he was an older guy, actually, he sells lobsters and fish, and he called himself like Superstar. Like everyone has a nickname here. It's really hilarious, but I like it because I can't even remember his real name. I got his number because I'm gonna buy some lobster and fish from him, and I was like, I could only remember Superstar. I cannot remember his real name. Right?
Now, do they call you Porno Dave, or do you have another name with them?
Yes, it's so embarrassing because there's a friend of mine named George lives down the road from me. He's an architect in Boca. He has his own plane. He just flies here, goes back and forth here in Boca. I'll be on the road and say, you'll bump into some older women on vacation. I mean, like grandmas, like 70-year-old women. And I'll tell them, well, this is where this beach is. This is a good restaurant. He'll roll down his window, and he doesn't even call me Porno Dave. He calls me just Porno.
Right.
And he'll be like, hey, Porno. And he'll start yelling it out. And I'm talking to this 75-year-old lady. Oh my God.
Yeah. So that's your name on with everybody, because it's such a small community. So that's kind of stuck.
Yeah, everyone calls.
I think we lost you there. Hello? I just call Kim Nicholson. I call her Nichols. All right, let's see. I think I lost Dave. Earth to Starlink, Bahamas to Starlink. Where are you, David? Where are you? I think I lost him. Well, guys, I guess we'll end it there. I was going to close it out anyway, but thanks. Porno, where are you, Porno? Hey, Porno. All right, guys, it's been a great Sunday. I hope you had fun. I hope you enjoyed the house tour. Wait, here he is. He's back. I think so. You back, Dave? Oh, wait.
Yeah,
another. Hold on. I got two of you. Hold on. We had the new. All right. Which one do I?
I'm okay.
All right. There we go. I didn't know it. Hey, okay.
Yeah, right on cue, the power went off. So there you go.
Yeah, it was like, all right, I guess we're going to wrap it up then.
It's probably time to end anyhow. So,
Yeah, because your fans now, they're going real slow.
Oh, 1 second.
I think your power's out. You didn't pay that $1,000 bill. Hey, Melton, you didn't pay the bill. I think I lost him again. All right, guys, I'll see you next week, maybe. Thanks a lot. I appreciate all of you. 27 people. That's great. Split between 2 channels. Like and subscribe. Go to my channel at DabbleVerse if you're watching this on Nice Podcast Stupid. Dave, thanks for being here. Thank you.
Yeah, it's perfect timing. My power's out. I'm just gonna have a drink and
you got to pay the bill. You know,
know,
Melton
this is
says you're
promise,
poor.
man.
See that? You
cut me off.
oh, wait. I got $2. But Flimsy Greenberg, thank you so much for the $2. All that talking, and we still think you're poor.
Flimsy, you're still fat, so don't get me going.
No, he wasn't fat. I saw him for reals.
Yeah, he's pretty fat. You know?
You didn't see him for reals. You got to go to
No, I seen
Atlantic
the pictures
City.
of him. I seen the pictures of him.
Everybody
So,
looks fat in their pictures.
oh God.
Melton, I met him. He was skinny. He's tall, lanky. All right.
Oh yeah. He's a weird body too. It's like he's actually got like chicken legs and the arms, and then he's got that. It's a weird body, you know. You know.
You know, he didn't look. I'm serious. I'm not ball washing him. He's very tall. He's like 6'5".
He's like 6'5". I know that. Yeah.
But he's not like that soft, like doughy. He looked like pretty. Like I'm not saying. You know, he had like a long sleeve shirt on and everything, but he looked like kind of solid.
No, he's not like morbidly obese. He's fat.
No, he's not like. He's like just a big guy. So
and if you want to insult me, pay more than $2. Come on.
All right, we're hard up. We take here. We got $1.99.
I need it.
We got $1.99. We're gonna put that in our Doge. All this. $1.99. Ricky Bev, thank you so much. Now I don't want to turn it off. I'm getting like Brennan. The money's coming in now.
The poor guys pay off their houses in 10 years. I don't know. Whatever.
So we've got Ricky Bev. Thank you so much. Flimsy's right. You're really poor. Oh, did I ever show you? I have a Kevin Brennan doll.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
They were.
The face is not red enough though.
No, but I guess the neck. This one didn't have a lot of stuffing. Remember,
I do like it, man.
It has like kind of a wrinkly. I have 2 of them. Maybe I'll raffle one off. Well,
do you think those rants are an act, or you think that's how he is really? Like
that's how he is. I think that's sincere.
I don't think he's like that in his real life, but this is a way of him getting that out. You know?
No, I think he's like that in his real life.
You think he's yelling and screaming like that? Because I know with me, like
screaming at the cops. That's just him.
Well, like, because I know with me, when you see me on Mir and Must Show, and I kind of go on some tirades and rants, I'm putting on a little bit of a show. It's not like what I'm like in like real life. Like when I do my some rant voice messages, it is a bit of a character. You know what I'm saying? It's like
I got a funny one. I'm gonna put up one, as Kevin says. I'm gonna put one up from the free chat. Ricky Bev, my house isn't paid off, but we have power.
Welcome to the Bahamas, man. So
oh gosh.
You got to roll with the punches on the islands. Hey, those cabinet doors took me 4 months because, like you said, COVID happened, and then and then they were open, and then finally I drove down there. So that was March when Donnie was here, 2000. Yeah. I drove down to his house, and I remember in like June or July, and I was like, dude, where are my doors? Like, this is ridiculous, you know, because I like to do that kind of stuff too. Like I said, I like to give the locals some business where I could just put some stuff in from the States, but you're giving a local guy some work and whatever, right? So he wasn't exactly a master carpenter. I'll tell you that much, though. No offense.
But hey, I'm not offended. I'm not a carpenter, but are they pine?
I don't know. I think they're oak, actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they look like a nice pine and everything. And,
we stain them and stuff like that. So
right. Yeah, they're beautiful though. Everything looks great. I like it. I love the tile. I mean, the marble from the Club Med.
Oh no, that thing is amazing. And what's great about it is it's a discussion piece. It's like, oh, these are like tiles like from Italy that were in this famous resort here that got destroyed in a hurricane. Like they're expensive too. Like I was paying like $20 a tile. Like it wasn't cheap, but I was like, whatever. I was like, if I were to bring in granite and do it, it was going to cost the same thing. So whatever. And this is a cool discussion piece, right? So, and again, you're giving work like my friend Morgan did it. So, Yeah,
Yeah.
he's not
You're
drunk all the time.
I was gonna
Just
say you're lucky, like, the grout lines are all lined up. It looks pretty
yeah,
good,
yeah.
you know?
He's not drunk only all the time, just 90% of the you know.
Okay. Yeah. That's, that's island life.
He
What else do you have to
he's a
do?
slave, by the way. One of the NLO trolls was actually had a character, in the chat, and it was called Slave Morgan. And then the picture,
That's great.
yeah, I
Slave
was like, oh,
Morgan.
I was funny at first, but the guy was a kind of a nutcase. Because
Right.
at first I saw it, I started laughing, but the guy in the chat was just like going after me nonstop. I had to block. I'm like, dude, like it is funny, but you don't have to be some weird obsessive freak, like yeah,
Yeah.
you know.
Uh, well, it was great to have you here, and I got a funny. I'll put up a freebie here too. Uh, NJ Ranger, thank you. This is a funny one. David Cross is a big get. Well done, Deb. That made me
At least I'm
chuckle.
not David Smith. I think I'm funny, the comedian who's not funny.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, okay. Dave Smith. Yeah, the libertarian.
And
Okay.
he's a libertarian. I'm a libertarian, but like I'm like, dude, tell a joke. Like,
Yeah, yeah. I think he's trying to pivot from comedy.
you
Flimsy
know,
Greenberg, thanks again for the $5. It's got to be exhausting to be such a slave
I
to the
really don't care.
internet's perception. That's what.
I don't care, Flimsy. I'm doing this for fun.
Okay. Thank you, Flims. Thank you,
Yeah,
Flimsy.
thank you, Flimsy.
So that was
Flimsy, you need to get a life. You're watching all these shows, man. Go outside. Like Stancil says, leave your house.
I'm I'm disappointed I don't have beloved Chatter here. He likes to he's on a lot of the shows.
Yeah, I get along pretty good with him. I haven't talked to him in a while, but I get
Yeah.
along pretty good with him, so
Yeah.
he seems like a really nice guy. I like him, so
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
and everyone,
So,
well, that's like the last thing we end off here. This stuff in, this stuff about all these characters in the universe and stuff is like everyone's told me like in one-on-one, Chad's a really nice guy in real life.
mhm.
They'll tell me Beloved Chatter is a nice guy. So it's like a lot of it is just people like to hide behind their fake personas. Hey, Flimsy, you like to talk a lot of crap about me. Why don't you fly to the Bahamas and say it to my face? I know you won't. But anyhow, so whatever. It's just goofing around and having
I
fun.
think it's just people, like chipping you, as they say there.
And I think
Or
Beloved
they're
Chatter's
having
pretty
fun.
wealthy.
Yeah.
He's pretty wealthy, and it's kind of like you can be just kids, and maybe he gets bored. He's just having fun, whatever, So yeah.
Right. And then, some of the storylines as you said, they get compelling, and you're an interesting guy. People are interested in you. They've been interested in you for a couple of years, so they wanted to see what you're up to and everything. So
Yeah, I guess I'm
think
doing
that's good.
actually. I can say with the Newsmax IPO, then I rolled that into other investments. I'm doing like this is like been one of my best years ever. Like I'm like really like, and I had one investment now that I think is going to do really well. So no, I'm doing great. Like I can't complain at all.
Right.
Like
And
I am putting in a swimming pool and a guest house for a reason.
right.
So,
Right.
so,
Well,
yeah.
I don't know about having it under the house there. Let's get that engine for that car first. Then you can drive
First,
it
yeah.
drive it
No.
up and we can see
I
it.
got another car, so like that. The
Yeah.
Maz, you don't
Oh, you got
understand.
another car we didn't get to see. What's the other car?
It's a Nissan Cabriolet, which is like it's SUV that's convertible. My Sean took it to the mechanic. It's getting a tune-up right now. So
Okay,
that's all.
yeah. I know
so.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I've seen those. They're really wild. They're cool.
Well, what
Yeah.
I like about it is because the roads here aren't the best, so it's like it's a convertible, but it's an SUV, so that's cool, right?
Right.
They're just
Right.
Muranos that are SUVs. That's all they are, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
They're nice. They didn't make them for a while, so they're pretty rare, right?
if the roofs are defective, that's the problem. I've had a lot of problems with the roof on that thing.
Yeah.
And so I kind of realized why. But one thing, why they make them? But one thing I really like is the back seat space is gigantic, right? So
Yeah.
So and that's why I'm not really in a hurry. Do you understand? Again, the dynamics of living here. I got to ship it in. I got to pay the duty. I got to get the engine shipped to somewhere else. Like I get the mechanics here. A lot of them are just kind of bush mechanics. Like it's like I said, it's a whole different life. I'm probably used to it now. They actually.
Oh, sorry about that. We do have
Yep.
a super chat though. Okay, Flimsy Greenberg, thanks again for the
I'm
$5.
going to Atlantic City in February, dude. I live in the Bahamas. And
Yeah.
we mentioned this earlier. I'm having a Super Bowl thing with Mears coming down, Chow's coming down, Stancil thing's coming down, and probably just a couple other fans. Like it's not an event. It's just inviting a few people down. So,
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
yeah.
My name wasn't included.
I live in the Bahamas. Why would I want to be in New Jersey in February? So
I went to last year. I did have fun. I mostly, oh God, it was so busy with the Eagles being in the Super Bowl. It was just like
it's close, yeah.
crazy. It was like wild, but it's very festive. I had to spend 12 hours in the sports bar because I couldn't leave my seat. I couldn't give it up. There's somebody trying to buy my seat.
What happens if you had to pee? What happened?
Oh, they give you like a little thing and it says reserved. And then after you're there, like, I mean, I'd been there like for 8 or 10 hours the day before. They get to know you and you just kind of,
I'm kind of famous for my Super Bowl party. So when I first moved here in 2012, this will be the last thing we talk about, I guess, 11, 12 and 13. Right. I did a huge party. Like I had these like I had like food tents, and I had the projection screen there was like on the front lawn. When I showed it on the TV in the house and the projection screen out there, now maybe I should have saved that money for cabinet doors. Yeah, right. So, but anyhow, so I and it was like it was like huge, and 100, 200 people came up, which is probably like half the town near me, and then I was like, that's enough of that, because it cost me too much money. And now I just have maybe like the smaller parties, I'll have 7, 8 people over. And then the bigger ones, I'll just have like 20, 30 people, something like that. Right. So that was too much, but like, it was fun. It was kind of like, cause I moved here in January 2012. So that first Super Bowl in 2012, that's when the Giants beat the Patriots. Right. That was kind of like the house opening party, I guess I could say, so.
Yeah. So. No, that's cool. Definitely.
So. If Flimsy, you're invited to come down here if you want, and we'll even have pretty girls here. I know that's not much. I know that doesn't really happen in the DabbleVerse. So, other than you, Dad, of course.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you. But no, I did have fun up there in AC. It's so cool to see, though, to put a face to the name and the difference. Yeah.
And I'm sure, like I said, people are way cooler in person too. So,
Yeah. You just gotta laugh at it and have fun, and it's pretty cool. But no,
that, and I have to admit, I always admit when I'm wrong. Like when that happened, I took it too seriously at the time. I did that, so now it's like whatever, So
that's cool. So do you have anything else you'd like to plug, or anything else you'd like to tell us? Or
actually, with my Patreon, if people are interested, so like my full subscription is $27 a month, and I have a lifetime subscription, which is $200 off if you buy the book and show me proof of purchase or whatever.
Now, what happens if I give away the book? Now you're going to send me books to give out. What if they get a free? Oh, they have to show you the receipt from Amazon, right? The invoice. Yeah.
Right. So the basic subscription, which is just like one video a week where I talk about the markets and investing, it's usually $7 a month, but I kind of have a booked special, which I'll probably leave on for another few months. So right now the Patreon's only $5 a month for that. So that's basically it. So
that's okay. That's if they buy the book.
And maybe I'll make you some money so you can pay for your super chats to MLC and NLO and chat or whatever else you watch.
So it's $5 a month. This is for the Patreon, and you also have Profit from Pessimism. Is that the newsletter?
Actually, I tell people I'm not ATP anymore. I'm PFP. So
okay. Profit from Pessimism. Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
I have another website I'm setting up called Profit from Paradise, which is like how it's actually an instructional website on how people can move offshore and be expats, be digital nomads and stuff. So there was a guy named Alan Cooper. I don't know if you ever heard of him. He's been on Mir's show with us before.
No.
He was kind of the weekend Adam for Kevin for a while, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So he do the weekend shows, and Alan actually designed my new website. Looks really great and everything. And Alan's actually done all that. And he's a great guy. Like I pay him and stuff, but it's like literally if I didn't pay him, he wouldn't care. He's like, oh, I'm just learning how to do this, and your website's
I wanna thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Hit the like, hit the like, hit the like, hit the like button. Oh, this is goodbye. This is goodbye, my friend. Don't you cry, don't you weep. We will be back again next week. Oh. This was a show, this was a great show. But now it's time to go. Don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Oh, this is goodbye. This is goodbye, my friend. Don't you cry, don't you weep. We will be back again next week.
Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. And come back next week, y'all. You heard?